had unprecedented access to the behind-the-scenes workings of the Genting dream. 150,000 tons of cruising magnificence and the dream team that works tirelessly to ensure that their guests have a holiday of a lifetime. Day 4 on the magnificent Genting dream, and we arrive at the port city of Lam Chabang in Thailand, our third country on this grand high sea tour.
As the passengers head off to explore the port of Lam Chabang, we explore some of the amazing facilities by Dream Cruises in order to indulge in the corporate MICE excursions. Corporates these days are indulging in a lot of activities like get-togethers, conventions, and team-building exercises. Let's in fact chat with the VP Sales and Marketing India at Genting Cruise Lines, Naresh Rawal. Naresh, thanks so much for joining us. To begin with, tell us, how have these MICE activities become so popular?
Okay, MICE, as I said, over the years has been looking out for various opportunities and destinations. Now, MICE is now categorized into various, it's not just the incentive travel that we very much used to hearing about. I think it's moved away from an incentive also towards serious conferencing. It's moved towards pure entertainment, and it's also moved towards special interest groups. So MICE is now categorized itself beyond the 4 letters of MICE, so it's essentially catering to a larger audience now.
So how much focus is Dream Cruises giving to organizing these MICE activities for corporates?
Since the corporate looks out for various opportunities, now besides the various destinations that the corporate has been traditionally looking out for, which has been very land specific, that's where a cruise ship now comes as a very nice alternate. While you're getting onto a ship, it has its own uniqueness of being on a ship, the beauty of the sky and the sea that you're cruising on. You also get to cover various destinations. And at Dream Cruises, we're pretty much well equipped to handle all of it, typically from the requirements of serious conferencing to whatever this requirement is. So we customize depending on the requirement of the corporate, and then accordingly make packages for them.
And are you seeing increasing demand in this space?
I've spent close to about 16 years selling cruises. Now, from the time I started to now, I think MICE has grown exponentially, and it's not just grown only in terms of the number of corporates who've chosen to cruise with us. I think it's the sheer size of each corporate house has also grown. So a ship today can cater to a group from 10 guests to a group of 4,000 guests. Yeah, so that's the kind of scale that you can see, of corporates cruising on.
So is India a major market for MICE corporate activities?
Okay, India has always been very pro-cruising, okay, especially for the ship out of Singapore. Now, that's for various factors. Whenever a corporate would decide to look at cruising as an option or taking their dealers outside the country, they would look at the ease of the airfares, they would look at the ease of getting the visas. Now, all those things coupled together adds a lot of value, and that's where you see Singapore as a destination, or a cruise ship out of Singapore has grown. And India is I would say India is a very strong supporter towards the MICE cruising segment from India.
So can you share with us some examples of the exercises that are typically used for corporate team building in MICE?
The ship can do things like, you can do a zip line. If you like adventure, you can get onto a zip line, you can get onto a rock climbing, and the zip line is pretty interesting because you're actually zipping 18 decks above water, and the zip actually is outside the ship. Now, besides that, there are bowling lanes on board. We have a Zouk beach club where we can create an ambience for them to have a nice party. There are theatrical shows that happen. We do yoga at sea. We do enrichment programs. We can get experts from a certain field. Like typically, Dream Cruises has worked upon a concept which is about an astronaut and a mermaid. We actually have astronauts, the real astronauts from NASA, who come on board the ship and give enrichment lessons. Where would you get a chance to actually see an astronaut and learn as to how he how he felt when he was in space. To a slightly different aspect is a lot of corporates come with their families now, and a lot of corporate houses invite families with kids. It's very imaginative for a small little girl to think herself of being a mermaid. We can actually have her dressed up into a mermaid and teach her how to swim like a mermaid. Now that's where we say dreams come true, and that's what Dream Cruises is all about.
So how does MICE help to grow the average room rates and occupancies?
A corporate, essentially, which is we're looking at typically a bulk business that comes in, as I said, it can range from a couple of hundreds to a couple of thousands. It helps us create a base for a particular departure date. And post that, as any organization, any principles of yield management, then you start yielding up on the other guests. So a corporate, it's very important for us to have a corporate group for every possible date that we can have, because it helps us create the base of revenues. So it's a very, I would say MICE business is a very, very integral and a very important part of our business.
And we've increasingly seen the trend of millennials being the driving force behind MICE activities. Is that something that you're observing?
I think it's very specific to the corporate, actually speaking, to be honest, in terms of who are those dealers or the staff that they're catering to. So I think it caters to a vast age group, and the ship is pretty well equipped to handle any age group. But what's interesting to understand is, with the millennials now coming into that working age, how millennials, and I would say when probably a couple of years later when the Gen Z comes in, how they are forcing each of us service providers to change to meet their requirements. So whether it is as a brand to be seen on the online medium, which this generation uses a lot, to the extent of creating experiences for them which are very technologically driven on board the ship. Now all these things, so it's very interesting. I think it's a very interesting segment, and I think a lot of us brands are moving towards to really cope up with the expectations of the millennials or the Gen Z. So to answer your question, yes, a ship caters to a vast requirement. And I think it's very corporate specific in terms of what is the product that they're dealing in, what is the age group that they target for. So like typically an insurance would probably have a slightly higher age group, whereas an IT firm would have a much lower age group. So a ship can adapt itself to the requirements.
Thank you so much, Naresh, for joining us. So let's understand a little bit more about the MICE excursions on board. Joining me is event manager Asharli Young. Start off by telling me about your role in the MICE excursions on board.
Basically, for my job is like coordination with the shore team and then the ship team. So usually when we have any request comes on board, then I need to coordinate with all the concerned departments on board. So to make all the program happen on board smoothly.
So which are the departments that are involved in the MICE activities?
We are around like 10 departments. We have F&B for food and drinks, and we have galley for all the menu arrangements. We have entertainment team, and we also have the front office, embarkation, shore excursion, and also somehow we need to involve marine and then safety as well.
So typically, how many corporates go for the MICE excursions on the cruise?
It depends, but usually average going to be like 10 groups every cruise on board.
We have the cruise director, Matthew Joseph, who is now joining us. Thank you for being with us. To begin with, give us an overview as to how Dream Cruises looks at MICE excursions and activities.
For the MICE groups, we have did events of a group size of 20 to a group size of 3,500.
Wow.
So the variety of range is totally different, depends on what kind of MICE is requesting. We have did many things like in the Zodiac Theatre where you have watched the Sonia show. We did award presentations, we did a beauty product launch, we did a movie premiere. And when it comes to activities as well, we do a lot of interactions, interactive activities, team building games, and everything is being pre-planned according to how the MICE wants the whole activity to be run with them.
Okay, so tailor-made as per what
Yeah,
the corporate
tailor-made. We
wants.
do have a lot of activities tailor-made for them.
There are a lot of corporate facilities that you guys provide.
Again, depends like how they plan to run their whole cruise sectors, right? So we have conference meeting rooms for them to not to involve and to get mix some other stuff. So they have a peaceful seminars happening at the same place. We do have a private lunch, we do private dinners for them. We do the whole restaurant, we block it exclusive just for them to have fun, so they can do anything, whatever they want to do, have it inside as well. We do sunset foam party.
Oh, wow.
Right, so we have this Zouk Beach Club, and that's one of the best place as well when it comes to a private activity area. We did stage concerts. We are bringing artists from outsides and they come on board the ship, they do the stage concerts. We did aqua zumba, we did rain dance. We have a beautiful Zouk club. We did a private late night clubbing, neon parties.
And lots
you
of
can
sporting
see,
activities. Tell us about
these
that.
are all different kind of a team building activities. It's all interactive. So because sometimes we do have groups asking for challenges, which can be played by different group sectors. So this is one of the activity. We do have here safe archery, bungee run, rope course, zip line. That's the most exciting one as well.
With these kind of activities, can you tell us about, you know, the kind of staff that's required, the numbers in order to make sure that everything goes according to plan?
And it also depends what kind of specific activity they are looking for. So there are certain times we go from 20 size to 60 to 70 group size of people. Again, if they're looking for an exclusive dinner, then that's a huge. We are talking about like about 20 chefs plus another 50, 55 waiter, waitresses, bartenders working as well. And it's all pre-planned. That's why we have this Shirley who is helping us to talk with corporates and the sales people, and she's channeling to us and we execute the whole program. We do had like a lot of corporates keep coming back.
Yeah.
So that is one of the positive results as well. And they're looking forward of what can they do something new from the last year. And that's one of the challenging part for us as well, because we want them to keep come back. So every year we try to do things in a different way as well. In our ship we have this balcony LED. So we do put a message on the balcony LED welcoming the corporate group as well. So it's more personalized. And we always talk to the crew that, okay, for this crew sector, we're going to have this group of people. And sometimes they do welcome the group as well. So, you know, there is always a personal touch. We make sure that we are always flexible according to their needs. At the same time, we are not compromising the safety issues or any kind of stuff which is not against the ship. So as much as possible, we go always, we are very flexible enough to understand their need, the timings they need. And there are certain group of corporates, if they request to change the boat, like if they decided not to have this cruise sector and they have a different cruise sector, they deal according to that people. We got office staffs who's dealing with them as well. So it's more into what they like and how they want to spend their time as well.
I tried out some of the team building activities and challenges, and they can be a whole lot of fun.
Well, that was an exhilarating experience. I can't wait for an evening full of engaging performances.
After a fun-filled and exciting morning, it's time for some lunch. So while the guests on board explore the varied variety of food available on the cruise, we decide to try out some teppanyaki.
Good afternoon.
Good
Welcome
afternoon.
here in Umiyuma Teppanyaki. I will be your chef.
Thank you.
At this lunch, Chef Ryan from Philippines. Welcome here in Genting. Let's do some warm-up. First thing, we're gonna cook your fried rice, and this is your happy face. I spin my egg right round when you go down. All right?
That's insane!
And there you go.
Woo! Well, my stomach is growling, and what better than an authentic Japanese teppanyaki meal? I'm currently in one of the world famous restaurants, Umi Uma, on board the Genting Dream. I have with me Chef Ryan, who is entertaining the whole time and going to prepare a fantastic teppanyaki meal. That's amazing.
It's Japanese egg sunflower.
So this is all for the fried rice, isn't it?
Yes. This is my Japanese omelette. We call it tamago yaki. And there you go. And my dancing egg. 1, 2, 3. I know you want me. I know you want me.
I do.
And here you go. 1, 2, 3.
That's so
Stop
cool.
it. And we're gonna add your Japanese rice.
What do you recommend someone should order here? What's the top selling dish?
If you are health conscious, I
Yeah.
would suggest the salmon.
Which is what I've ordered. Yeah.
Salmon is we cut here fresh from Alaska.
Really?
Yes.
What are the main flavors of Japan?
The Japanese, the only thing we use in the Japanese is you have here only in teppanyaki, we use the shoyu, which is commonly known as soy sauce. In Japanese term is shoyu and some sesame seeds and butter, soy sauce. I'm gonna be romantic tonight.
Oh, I love you. Thank you.
So this is your vegetable here. We have bean sprout, shiitake mushroom, cabbage, and some carrots. So this is your yasai tame. Yasai tame.
Yasai tame,
Yeah.
which is the appetizer.
There you go. Enjoy your vegetable appetizer.
Looks fantastic. Yum. Can't wait to try. So for the salmon, you won't be putting too many ingredients, just very light
Just the salt,
salt
and pepper.
and oil. So how long does salmon take to cook on a grill like this?
For example, you like it medium, right?
Yeah.
It takes 3 to 4 minutes only.
Only. It melted in my mouth. It's so good. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Chef
much for
Ryan.
coming here.
Thank you for entertaining me and making it the most fantastic meal on this cruise so
Wow.
far. Thank you.
Thank you for dining with us here.
As guests make their way back to the cruise, the good times continue.
As the cruise nears its end, returning to Singapore, the captain and his crew interact with the palace members exclusively as part of the captain's cocktail party.